KXAN's Jacqueline Powell explains a new initiative aimed at making a safer and more productive police force by prioritizing officers' mental and physical well-being.
The statistics are staggering. APD says with all of the pressure that's on officers, their divorce rate is up to 80%. They have the highest rates of heart disease, hypertension, and diabetes of any profession. And officers are 300% more likely to abuse alcohol than the rest of the population. Well, just this year, APD has fired one officer and suspended 3 others for alcohol-related incidents. All of these factors play into a shorter life expectancy. The Austin police chaplain tells me on average, officers live 15 years less than the normal person. And that's why the department is working to take a more preventative approach and hopefully improve some of those statistics locally.
You're entering into the worst moments of people's lives pretty much on every call that you take, and that has a traumatic effect.
APD's chaplain Rick Randall isn't afraid to admit there's a problem.
Over the course of my 20 years here, I've done 5 line-of-duty death funerals for officers at APD or surrounding agencies. I've done 7 suicide funerals.
He says too many officers suffer from PTSD. If it doesn't cost them their lives, he says it can lead to mistakes that cost many their careers. Randall's leading the department's new Health and Wellness Committee after he says Police Chief Brian Manley got fed up with seeing so many disciplinary cases coming through his office.
By the time they got that far on his desk, there really weren't a lot of choices, and he was desperate really for how can we intercept these things earlier on so I don't have to deal with them when it's a career-ending situation.
The new wellness initiative tasks supervisors, the staff psychologist, and the staff doctor with watching officers more closely and identifying when they're struggling, either mentally or physically. The police department is partnering with Del Seaton to treat them preventatively before issues go too far.
Not just scratching the surface of officer wellness, but looking at it from a variety of angles.
Assistant Police Chief Justin Newsom is helping lead the effort. With 22 years on the force, he's lived through the same pressures his officers are facing.
As I look at you and talk to you right now, I can think about the faces of people that I've seen dead on the highways. I can see the faces of babies that I've seen dead when I was a homicide detective. And I can see the faces and the injuries of children when I was a child abuse detective. And through all those things, you experience it in the moment, and you finish that one and you go to the next.
You put the cork in the bottle and you do what you've got to do. Well, that cork will only stay in the bottle so long.
The goal is to relieve some of that pressure by giving officers the resources to better manage their stress.
We owe it to our officers to put the systems in place so that when they encounter those situations, they can reach out. They have a way to process that more healthily to save their career.
Jacqueline Powell, KXAN News.